Good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are. And welcome to Requiem for London Chronicles, the City of Martyrs. And we begin our scene with a particular kindred, an individual from old London, an individual who has begun to feel weary, begun to feel tired of the current city in its state, and has felt the pull of torpor to deep sleep. And with this will lead to our PC.
Yes, thank you. When last we saw this particular individual, she was in an old abandoned piano factory and, as said, had been feeling the leaden call of torpor. She had, shall we say, borne her ambition almost like a cross, and now it was beginning to crush her. And so, perhaps against her natural instincts, she instead decided to slow it down rather than speed up and grasp for that golden apple. She decided that her own survival, her own continuation was far greater worth than perhaps any glories that she could have achieved. And so, crawling away into a little hidey hole, away from the prying eyes of mortals, perhaps even kindred, perhaps even some of the other forces at work, she settled herself into sleep, a long sleep. Awaken when she may, if she may. It was one of the last thoughts she had in this waking world of, is it really that courageous to simply step away from the events as they are? Or is it perhaps the most courageous thing of all? After all, you'll be helpless, you'll have nothing, you'll just simply be a corpse underneath the tarp in a blanket in a basement. Easy pickings for a hungry kindred, easy pickings for a hunter. But she needed to do this, otherwise there would be nothing left of her, not of herself, not of her body anyway. She would succumb completely to the beast, and that would lead to nothing but tragedy. She had experienced dreams, premonitions, perhaps walked through memories again with her unseen dark guides. Perhaps it was her beast, perhaps it was not. Who can tell? Who can tell these things? For a younger kindred to enter torpor for the first time, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of trepidation. But sleep she did, and sleep she does. Until, over to you.
As your kindred, as your character sleeps, the deep sleep, the alluring sleep that draws many kindred, while in this delirium you are at peace, everything from the waking world seems to disappear. You seem to be calm. As this calm persists, suddenly an emotion emerges to you. Not an emotion, a pull, a struggle, a tear. The blood itself seems to be awakening you, as if pulling you from the deep sleep, pulling you from the coma that has covered you from your sleep. It makes you rise higher and higher, and as you awaken, you feel you are no longer in control. You are no longer present. The beast emerges. The beast is there. That part of you that you do not deny, that you confirm doesn't exist, yet somehow has control over your soul, has control over part of you. This beast follows a path. It follows that pull, and it follows it towards a room, a grand arena, a grand battleground. It seems to follow a path that leads to that sweet smell of blood, kindred and mortal alike. Oh, you are excited now. The smell awakens you, the taste on your lips. Ah, the touch on your skin. Mm, this fulfills you. This is what you want. No, this is what the beast wants. The confusion continues during this spell, this prophecy, this vision, this dream, this awakening. You are not sure. While this all occurs, the smell of blood, the smell of combat, the smell of fear, you know that you've been awakened by someone, a kindred of your blood. Yes, someone that has your blood sympathy, your blood essence tied to him. He wants you there. He needs you there to protect him, to fight for him. But as this occurs, a light appears. A light so bright, a light so blaring, so cursing, so daring, so abysmal. It burns you. It makes you suffer. You desperately flee. You run from this light, this force that is killing you. It's killing others. It's killing the one that summoned you. It's killing the ones that were summoned. You run. You flee. These are memories. Go back and forth. You cannot stop them. You cannot run from them. But then you hide. You find a place. You are safe. You are secure. You are asleep. Do years go by? Centuries? What happens to the immortal as they sleep?
What happens is that she slips again into those memories, reliving forever. It's almost as reading your own memoirs in a way, being able to detail and analyze them. When people say, "Oh, I wish I'd said that. I wish I'd done that." That's the philosophy of the self in a way, the introspection. The way to master oneself is to not look without, is to look within, to compile the knowledge that you have within yourself. Look at your own failings, at your own faults, and then make plans for not doing that again. Or maybe you should have doing that. It's an interesting state of affairs, actually. One truly finds what one wants when you look closely, and that's what she understands now is the allure of torpor. It's the plotting, it's the planning, it's the betterment of oneself. It's sitting in a dark room with no distractions, just simply to know who one is, perhaps. After all, one can never truly know oneself without being alone. Otherwise, you're always tainted by other people's wants and desires and needs. You get distracted, you get sidetracked. You get poisoned by what they want rather than discovering what it is that you truly want. And that's the cycle that she's feeding herself into, very much as the Ouroboros eats its own tail, is born again, dies, and is reborn again. Forever these modicrums of conversations had, of actions done, of things that she once willed and wanted, realizing they're actually not important at all. One could be so bold as to say that this is perhaps the first step of becoming a true immortal, if one were vain, but then vanity itself is foolish as well. And so the cycle continues, the cycle of thought, until she again awakens, wherever that may be.
As these thoughts occur to you, as these emotions and ideals wash within you, merge within you, water down, thicken, you suddenly sort of, as if a heavy weight is lifted from you and your eyes open, as if it takes such great effort, such great force just to lift your eyelids open. And you see the rubble, you see this kind of dirt, this filth, this earth blocking you, and this natural instinct to push forward, to force yourself into the world, awaken anew, a creature of rebirth. And as you push and push, the sweet light, not only light, the smell of earth, the smell of the world, freshness, air, life itself. And as you look, you hear your ears pick heartbeats of others around you. 10, no, 12 heartbeats. Oh, yes. 6 young, ripe, 7 to 8 others, older, but still of the blood. Wait a minute, wait. Who am I? Am I human? No, I'm kindred. Am I mortal? I can smell them. Oh, they smell so good. Oh, I can taste them. Where was I? Battlefield, blood, dead, kindred, hunters, mortals. The martyrs, they are coming. Who are they? I forget. And with this, I leave to our PC, our character. What is her motive? What is her involvement?
Arising from torpor, after however many years had passed, months, weeks, years, who can tell, until she finds herself a calendar. There's no way of knowing how long she's been asleep, how long that instance of eternity ever truly was. However, awakening, one awakens hungry always. Even in the evening's awakening of the day sleep, a kindred always awakens hungry. Now amplify that to a week, amplify that to a month. Had she the gumption, the will to even look at herself, she'd find herself a withered husk of a corpse almost, no longer filled with the vigor, shall we say, of the kindred condition that allows flesh to be fleshed out and skin to be drawn tight. Now she's not looking particularly delectable anymore. Paper thin white skin stretched tight over bone and just willing herself to move. And there is only one thing that is going through her mind, as would be going through the mind of any kindred. And don't give me that shit about elders, she thinks in the back of her mind. There's only one thing, and that is the blood. Heartbeats, you say? Many of them, you say? I call it a feast. And so she pounces upon the nearest living thing to sate that eternal hunger, that eternal curse. That is the payoff of this longevity we call immortality. And so she rips and shreds and tears until she comes to full consciousness, perhaps sated.
You emerge fulfilled. Oh, so fulfilled. And the glory, the pleasure, the memories are hitting you hard now. That sense of power, the sense of purpose, the sense of righteousness just fulfill you until you open your eyes. For a sudden moment, a sudden brief moment, you awaken to what's just happened, to your memories, to the events, to the, what was it? I can't understand it now. It's just like a distant, foggy dream. But your eyes awoken to the scene of bodies. Oh yes, 10 to 12 victims. Still lifeless, somewhat artistic, perhaps. Should I care about these people? Or should I just walk away? I'm not sure. Is this the way I should be? I don't know. Or should I care about these people? They mean nothing to me now. They are empty. There is no blood in them. So why should I care? Or should I care? The dream is so heavy, so foggy in my mind. Danger, the beast announces. Danger, the beast awakens in the back of my mind. Hide, flee, the words, the feeling, the emotion spreads. What does the PC do?
As mentioned, post the feeding, post the awakening, the next thing is to put the dream, the experience into perspective. We've done the research, now we must file and catalogue. There's always that scientific mind still at work, and the beast wants to survive. Always has done, always will do. It's its base instinct. It needs to feed, it needs to survive to feed more. And so if the beast says to flee, then perhaps it is best that one listens to the wiser of the two creatures, because currently the human brain is still in shambles. And so she'll back against a wall. There's one nearby. Steady yourself. Look at the carnage she's created. And is the beast sensing danger from any one direction, or just flight panic?
It's a general sense. It's a very primitive sense of protecting oneself, of this much chaos, pain, misery, or draw attention. We must go. Not in a immediate Spider-Man sense.
Okay, so is it an actual sense of another more powerful kindred, or is it just
No.
this is
Nothing,
a bad
nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Okay.
This is purely. There are a lot of bodies here. We should leave.
In that case, as you say, they're empty vessels. They mean very little at this point. And chances are she's left them on somebody else's turf, if people still claim turf around these parts. In which case it'll catch up to her, but currently the need to catalogue her thoughts and continue existing is of the greater importance. So she does leave, and leave with a clear conscience at that.
Describe how the way you leave. Go. You're at the moment. You're inside a sort of museum, sort of sense of learning, a university, perhaps. Do you walk away, or do you perhaps break your way out?
Are there any exit signs?
Yes. Depending, I'm going to ask you on a personal note, is your character interested in that, or are they going to be more desperate to flee?
I need to figure out what the fuck has happened. I need to make peace with myself before I go doing anything else.
I think, you know what, I think a role may be needed just to determine that.
All right.
So I think a reserve and composure role, just to determine. Let's see how it goes. Just see how it goes. Where you can.
You want to put any negatives on that?
Not really. Not really. I just want to see how it goes. I just want to see.
All right. If you could roll for me, then 5 dice.
5
Don't
dice.
auto-success it.
I shall roll for you. Okay, so 5 dice. It's to succeed. No. And no, nothing. Failure. It's 4 failures. So
Welcome
yeah,
back.
welcome back. Sorry. Yeah. So welcome back to your first scene,
So
and your first scene is
in that
complete. So,
in that case, she's looking for the exit signs. She's left the bodies well behind her. That's just not interesting, and not interesting anymore. But what is interesting is perhaps almost as she's got her hand on the exit door, ready to go and ready to start a new life, whatever it will be. Something sparks at the back of her mind. Perhaps it's her human aspect coming through beyond the bestial in a way. Those two creatures have always danced a very tight tango, and perhaps now she's in the lead, as it were. And being that she is where she is, she can't help but poke her nose where it isn't wanted once again. And so, with her hand on the exit sign, the finish line in sight, ready to head out into the brand new world, whatever it may be, she turns on her heel and walks back the other way.
oh, sorry. Is this walk back into the university, the college, or
That's
to
what we
try?
were rolling for, I believe.
Oh no, sorry. I was rolling for. We were rolling whether she to leave. Uh, what's the word? Vanity or humanity, or in a sensible way, or to
Oh, okay.
fail that and just simply want to escape in a
All right.
dramatic
I
way.
thought I
Sorry,
wanted to escape.
this is
Okay, no, that's fine. Well, we'll escape then. Escape is good.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't describe it properly, but basically, yes, you could have rolled to succeed and escape in a very sensible, humane
No, I
or
just want to.
human way. But because you failed, your beast is pushing you to run. So your beast is pushing you to flee. You've done some damage. You've hurt people. You've killed people. Run, flee, hide, and gather. And this is what your beast is telling you to do.
So that's what we shall do. If that's what the failure means, then that's what we shall do.
Your beast, you just literally you go, you sort of walk towards the exit. You walk towards the door, as any person would. But instead, you kind of just go off into the corner of the room. You climb out the window. You go over the fence. You climb over the wall. You climb over the building. You do whatever your beast demands to escape, to flee from the scene, from what it is. Hide. It cries to you. Seek protection. I'm here. I want to protect you. I want to make sure you're safe. It whispers to you. And with that, we will happily end scene. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this show,